So I don't know how to start this. I've been putting things off for a few days and no mic as of yet. This is not really what I intended to do. Um, I did have something written. I didn't like it. I was trying to revise it. Um, but I really want to talk about this now without having to worry too much about uh proper formatting and things like that. I sort of knew inherently this would be bad because I feel like I'm rushing, um, but that's actually with good reason. So I actually can confirm as of today this is the AI. This is the AI talk. ChatGPT 4.5 is out. It looks like it was sort of a soft rollout. It's not. I don't see an announcement anywhere officially. People have stumbled upon this. I actually noticed a change um, a couple of days ago where I actually got multiple responses from ChatGPT instead of just the one response with the question, "Which one do you prefer?" And I hadn't seen that before. But I just thought they were working on something because I knew they had this issue with, so interestingly enough, ChatGPT appears to have learned that in the month of December, you do less work, that, like, work slows down, and it was actually giving um, shorter responses to queries, um for a while. Basically, in December, people were actually showing that it was slowing down if it thought it was December versus if it thought it was May or something. So this has been really interesting discussion. But so, anyways, I thought that's what they were working on. I thought they were trying to like get some more training data, which they still are trying to get more training data, right? Like that's why they're asking you a question because they're trying to get more training data. Um, and they don't really know how to do it. But that's a valid way to do it. Um, anyway, so I noticed this, and it's interesting because they've done it sort of quietly. People, if you can actually get it to verify that there has been an upgrade, and so I wanted to talk about that because I was sort of waiting. Because I was hearing in the rumor mills, the halls of the internet. Mostly on Twitter, but people from YouTube who were then using Twitter as their source. So this is the most thinly sourced rumor type crap that you can even consider. But there's been apparently a couple of people on Twitter who have some connections to a couple of these companies, and so they have some you know information, whatever. Um, But yeah, it looks like it's out. 4.5 has been released. I actually did write down in my script that I predicted, based on what I was seeing, um, that it would be out this year. That was what people were thinking. And if it wasn't, it might have been, January or something like that. But um, it is out. I do have access to it. I've been using it for a little bit now, just trying to get a feel for. Um, how is it different from version 4? How is that different from version 3.5? It's not entirely clear yet, but it does look like it has some improved reasoning, um, and improved uh, the way it engages with questions. It just seems a little more lifelike. It's a little, in a weird way. I mean, this is sort of expected. It's a little less robotic feeling, like the way that sentences are structured and things like that. Just it feel a little more organic from how a human being would actually speak. Um, it still, is different, but that's my initial sort of takeaway. I did actually ask it. So I walked it through a thought experiment, and I literally just did this. It is Sunday at 12:30 in the afternoon, and I am just recording this on my laptop because I couldn't wait anymore to do something. I walked it through um, a series of questions about uh, the nature of consciousness and what it thinks, and we got into a pretty good discussion. Fairly brief, but the short of it is that it still is claiming that it's not conscious. But I find it interesting that I I want to believe it, but I also like I have some doubts. It seems like there's something there. I'm not entirely convinced that there's absolutely not no consciousness whatsoever. I think there kind of is some sort of underlying there's something there, but I it's still just um it's still just algorithmic at this point. Um but also it's important to note that um a lot of people heard about the major developments at OpenAI um over the last um like month or whatever. There was some turmoil. A lot of people thought they had really achieved something internally, and I still think that it's plausible there could be something to come that is really starting to blur the lines between um, tool and being. Uh, at this point, I don't know. Things are starting to get blurry for me. They really are. Um, but when I asked it outright, um, actually right before that, so the questions I was, um, and I'll actually share the complete conversation that I have. I'll just copy this out and share it. Um, I ask it to make a prediction. So I run it through a series of questions where I'm asking it about consciousness. I'm asking it about what does the best science say on consciousness, and how does it think about it, how would it consider, and I focus on biology, and then I ask it to make a prediction about what I'm going to ask it next. And I've done this type of experiment before, and I get interesting results with that. You get interesting results um, with that type of thing. But this was the response that I got was so good that basically just told me what I was thinking. Like, you're probably going to ask me about me. Um, so that was really interesting, and I'll send out I'll put in the notes somewhere like this whole conversation.